welcome to our 22nd day of self-leadership journey. It's a beautiful Sunday, although not so much. It's hot, but no sun today. How it is on your side? What's the weather? We are having our last day of week 3, and today we are going back to the books that I have used this week. This week is only the Art of the Possibility, and as a bonus I'm bringing just one little thing from one more book. Grab your book, grab your pen, and let's dive in. Some time ago I was writing an article about the leadership, and leaders are like creators of the music. The conductors are showing the way. In individual life, we also are playing such role, showing the right way, how we should behave, how we should talk, the attitude, right? It's, again, I don't know if you remember, I was talking about that previously, the intention, attention, and attitude. All together is aligned. So it's not about how many times we will hear about this, but when finally we will anchor in us, in our mind, and start doing something around that. The Art of Possibility, written by Rosamund, Zander, and Benjamin Zander. Wonderful book, really recommending to read. Traditionally, all verbal communication in an orchestral rehearsal is directed from the podium to the players, and almost never the other way around. Any communication back to the conductor is through a few leading players, especially the concertmaster, and then almost invariably in the form of a question, usually preceded by a semi-diffident, often secretly mocking maestro. So life-based, at home, who has the power, who has the authority, who can talk, who has the last word? At work, who can be the one who can be loud in the room? And even from the ruling, the procedures, because I told you to do so, because I say, because it's my decision, with no justification. This is how, by the way, we are developing in invisible way our vertical process of thinking, but somehow we are also adapting that when we are triggered, when we feel not strong enough to go into the discussion. From the organizational perspective, we do have our wonderful strategic C-suite people, yes, board of directors, who are coming to you, this is our decision. But why? Because I said so. Because this is a decision of the big people. How unfairly it is done. How huge disengagement is created at that moment. Then when we asked, in case we are the authors of this disengagement, we are asking, hey, come, sit with me. Why you don't want to spend time with me? Why are you isolating yourself? Well, you isolated yourself first by the power of title, by following this typical autocratic vertical style of attitude. I will use the power of title. The power of title is having two faces, to damage or to empower. And as there are two faces, there are two egos that are a drive behind that, good ego or bad ego. When we speak about those two guys, what is the intention that is leading me? If I do have the positive intention, most probably I will be looking at that situation through the lens of my heart. Be careful, it's good, but as we spoke, this emotional reaction not necessarily will be good. So the mixture of the emotional and the rational approach is definitely very important. But intention can be emotional, then there will be attention. Wait. Here we go. We jump into the rational mode. Heart was the drive, but right now, to take the action, we need to be smart, mature. Yes, so we are, by the action, integral part of our rational mind, let's say. And then our attitude. Will we do rough and bark, or we do it with the acceptance of the differences, with the inclusivity that other people are having different mindset, different knowledge, based on which they are even interpreting what you just tell them? What will be your intention, attention, and attitude? Be the conductor, be the creator, be the author of your own life. I'm quite light, huh? Because I'm here in front of the window, and despite there is no sun, it's quite light. Anyway, wear the sunglasses if I am shining too bright, okay? Speaking in possibility. Often the person in the group who articulates the possible is dismissed as a dreamer or as a Pollyanna, persisting in a simplistic glass half full kind of optimism. The naysayers pride themselves on their supposed realism. However, it is actually the people who see the glass as half empty who are the ones wedded to a fiction, for emptiness and lack, like the wall, are abstractions of the mind, whereas half full is a measure of the physical reality under discussion. The so-called optimist, then, is the only one attending the real things, the only one describing a substance that is actually in the glass. Et voila. So, who are you? What team are you? Half empty, half full. This is why we are developing our conceptual knowledge to enable to ourselves to think rationally, to have data that we can collect and have the process of thinking. Here in front of me, I have that knowledge. Let's do it. And usually when there is this kind of feeling, inner feeling, excitement / fear, usually there's also the intuitive voice. Do it, because that's your way. If you are frozen, it means you are not ready to carry the weight of the consequence of your decision. But if there is this excitement, and like, oh my God, how I will do it, but that's usually the moment and the sign, green flag, for you to move on. And there will be still fear and risk and stress, because usually when we are taking the risky decisions, let me tell you the one big truth. Whoever is telling you everything will be fine, you will make it, you will be okay, it will be great, and so on. Once you make that decision, mark that word, you will be alone with the consequences of that decision. And it's not because people will disappear, because you are the author of your life and no one will do the things on behalf of you. This is why your rational process of thinking is so critical, that when you take the decision, it's not based on your emotions, but facts. And since we are here about attitude and process of thinking, I mentioned, I think already this week, the author Edward de Bono. I love the book Think Before It's Too Late, but here is the book Teach Your Child How to Think. Attitudes affect our whole approach to thinking, so I shall begin here with looking at the attitudes of the good thinker. And here are ideas. The bad attitudes. Thinking is not important. Gut feeling is all that matters. Rational, emotional. My heartbeat does not lie to me. But if you add the rational attention, it will tell you something else, and you will polish your shoes and run away as quickly as possible. I find all problems too difficult. Thinking is boring and confusing and never gets anywhere. Okay. I find thinking very easy. You just look at something and make up your mind about it. Good attitudes. Everyone has to think. Everyone can think. Thinking is not only for every clever people or people in specialized areas. Everyone uses thinking at different times. Everyone can develop a useful skill in thinking. Take one step at a time. Separate your ego from thinking. Look at your thinking objectively. It's also very common, argue the argument, not the person. And this one is corresponding wonderfully. Separate your ego from thinking. How? Quick check in. What is my intention? What is my attention? And what is my attitude? Bad ego, good ego. What do you want to achieve? You want to win? You want to show that you are smart? Or you want to have a constructive conversations that you both, regardless in what relationship you both are, you can be a colleague at work, you can be a neighbor, how you both go out from that conversation, with the wisdom or with not good feeling. Thinking should be constructive, not negative. Yes, that's all about. And I could read and read and read. While we are thinking constructively, we will start communicating in a constructive manner. The way how you feel about yourself, how you perceive yourself, that's the way how you will communicate with others. If you feel not okay with yourself, it means you are not safe here in you. Whatever question will come, whatever statement that is not appreciating you will be taken as attack on you. And you will take the gloves ready for a fight. But if you are in peace with you, you will not hear the sarcasm, you will not hear the joke, you will be above that. Then you can become constructive. Or just ignore. There is this saying, yes? Don't argue when the conversation anyway does not make sense. Silence is gold. Thinking is gold. Have a wonderful rest of the day and see you tomorrow. Week 4, it's the last one, and it will be very exciting one. Quite a lot of work. So, if there is any missing homework done, do it before we dive into the next steps. Thank you very much for being here, and comment what are you doing over the weekend and how are you doing. Thank you very much. Subscribe. Don't forget.